Meanwhile, heavy rains are now moving south. The New South Wales SES Deputy Commissioner, Daniel Austin, says residents in low-lying areas in the Sydney-Illawarra region should limit non-essential travel as flash flooding is predicted.
We've just been through 2 years of the COVID pandemic. Luckily, the news has changed now because now Russia is challenging the world to war. And on the east coast of Australia, we're experiencing 1 in 1,000 year floods and storms, which is moving down the coast from Queensland to northern New South Wales through Sydney and now Wollongong, which is where we're about to head with a play for the next leg of the Silver Tunnel Tour. Wollongong and the Illawarra, conservative, hard-working, industrial town, but it's really all the ticket sales have stopped dead on from the moment that the bad news about the weather coming in started. The ticket sales stopped absolutely. So we'll see what we can garner while we're down here, I guess.
You want to go to a free play tonight? Free starts in about just up here on the steps in the church.
Now that we're starting to stay away, when we go away, it's just has a bit of a draining effect to it. And inventing it new every week, although that keeps us fresh and our imaginations running riot, it's a tough call. It's a tough call on Justin because he's got to relight it, restage it each time. And it's a tough call on the actors because it's a two-hander. They never stop talking for 50 minutes. And the blocking plays a great part in an actor remembering their lines. And they'll come in today, a whole new setup.
Who knows if the audience is going to come? Who knows if it's going to be empty or it's going to be full or it's going to be a medium-sized audience? But anyway, you look at it, you have to give them the best you possibly got. And each time you come into a new venue, you know, Warwick and Justin are already in here looking at it and trying to work out different ways and moving things around. And sometimes, like even here today, the pews are immovable. So many things are immovable.
Unlike the others, which were really, one way or the other, were quite flexible, this is like a rock. I mean, the pews are bolted in, everything's bolted in. So we're really stuck with working with some seriously hard dimensions. Whereas the other spaces, because of ugly seating and pews that move and stuff, we can shift around and recreate within the space. I played plasticine with it, but this is a rock.
So we've got a new level here where we've now got to reblock in a place where we really can't move too much. So there's always that. There's the arrival, the keeping the energy up, the blocking, the hitting the ground running, the getting it towards being able to deliver the best you possibly can. And that's what we're about, bringing our best.
Everything is one in this church. You can't move anything, you got to move around everything. It's got a really looming kind of vibe and attitude to it. It's essentially a third character that is just telling people to not laugh, in my opinion. And it is telling people to stay still, don't move. It's a different vibe. We're feeling it. It's kind of uncomfortable, but the whole play is kind of uncomfortable. So whether it's a better thing for it, I don't know, but it's definitely a different feeling.
It's 6:15. They're doing one final light run, tech run, all the way through. It'll get them 7 o'clock or something. Then they'll have a break till the show starts at 8, and that's the setup day. Quite a day. Jim, or whatever his name is, from the church, is out the front busking like the old days. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 young kids that come in. Just heaven.
that was the hardest show I think I've ever done, because I changed things coming into it. I didn't go through the whole show. I should stick to that now. I know that. Plus, I had a couple of friends in the house, and I made the mistake of looking through the fourth wall and starting to think of it from their perspective and their point of view. Big mistake for an actor. Shouldn't do it. Got to lock down your role before you walk on. Never see through the fourth wall. Got to know your stuff before you walk on and be totally confident. However, all of that aside, this was a hard place. This was a difficult place to work in, you know. Smaller audiences, they didn't get that it was a black comedy. They weren't sure they could laugh. They didn't laugh. And that's fine too, because it is a drama and quite serious. But God, it helps if they actually enjoy it, and I'm not sure that they did.
You and Timmy, you've got to trust it in there. There's always half of them are right with you. It's just that they respond differently sometimes.
They do.
And I feel as an audience member, but filming it from the back, I see the focus. You know, and I know what that means. If they're doing it all that way through it, they're not, but if they're really stationary, they're watching it. They're listening to it. Maybe not liking it, but they're listening to it. Yes, and you did run off the rails today.